June is busting out all over, and here in Portsmouth, that means that there are outdoor events taking place in parks, on nature reserves, and on waterways. There are also tournaments, festivals, and outdoor markets. We'll look at a few of these right here and right now on this episode of Portsmouth Now. Welcome to this June 2016 episode of Portsmouth Now. I'm your host, Rob Lauer. Over the past few summers, a growing number of Hampton Roads residents and visitors to the area have discovered the wonders of Portsmouth's newest park, Paradise Creek Nature Park. Located on Victory Boulevard in the Craddock area, Paradise Creek offers nature and hiking trails that allow visitors to explore the wildlife and the plants that are part of the Elizabeth River ecosystem. And though Paradise Creek is located in an urban area, it offers spectacular views of the Elizabeth River and the surrounding wetlands. Each year since Paradise Creek opened, there have been new additions to the park. On Monday, May 16, 2016, park employees, city officials, visitors, and the press were in hand for the ribbon cutting of the newest additions to Paradise Creek, the Dominion Wetland Learning Lab, and a canoe and kayak launch, made possible by the Virginia Department of Conservation and Recreation. Marjorie Mayfield Jackson of the Elizabeth River Project presided over the event, and our cameras were there.
Today we're here to cut the ribbon on not just this facility. This is the Dominion Wetland Learning Lab, but also a kayak launch down here just over the lip of the wetlands. I want you to know that this wetland here, it's 11 acres, beautiful, wasn't here 4 years ago. It was filled in the part of the river that was filled in the 50s, and the Port Authority, where's Bobby Bray, dug it out and made it a wetland again. I want to read what John Muir said when he started the national parks. You know, they've become America's greatest idea. And he said, thousands of tired, nerve-shaken, over-civilized people are beginning to find out that going to the mountains, or he could have said going to the river, is going home, that parks and reservations are useful not only as fountains of timber and irrigating rivers, but as fountains of life. And I want you to know already more than 6,000 students without any roof, with just one porta potty, without any kayak launch to explore the creek and the river, have been to programs here with Ranger Sarah and our education team. 900 volunteers have been working to transform this urban forest. It was a mess of invasive vines, and you couldn't even walk around in it. We have 2 miles of trails now, and constant work to bring back the natives for the wildlife. And 1,500 members of the public at over 300 programs run by Ranger Sarah. So that's pretty amazing, and I want to thank you all for making that a reality. And coming soon will be a wonderful playground, maritime playground like you haven't seen before, custom built to celebrate the river. A Scottish sculptor is going to do his first U.S. installation right behind you, and Robin is going to give you a little glimpse of it in a minute. And a river academy that's going to be enclosed from the weather and have solar power and rain cisterns, and a wonderful place for people to learn more about their river. So all that's coming. Thank you all for this tremendous progress that we marked today and for a powerful partnership.
Good morning. I don't think I need this. We talk a lot about our purpose and what we do as citizens, as corporations, partners to come together to coexist in the industrialized world, as well as respecting the environment and doing things that make a difference in the lives of our future generations. And the fact that these children come over from elementary to college and study nature and study all of the things that this place has to offer. Thank you. I won't talk much longer. I'm excited about this piece and what it does for all of us. I'm excited about this lady. And I think I talk all the time about Margaret Mead and what she says about never underestimate that a small group of people can change the world, because that's the only thing that ever has. And things like this make a difference. Thank you. Bless you.
Wait, Mayor, Mr. Mayor, we have a
Oh, my.
picture of the very first children who came out here to use this wetland learning lab. They were preschool children from Mount Herman, and they had a big time. And there's pieces of the ribbon too in there.
Okay.
So let's hear it from the Mayor of Portsmouth.
Thank you very much.
Following the cutting of the ribbon, the crowds walked down to the new canoe and kayak launch to watch the ceremonial first takeoff of a kayak. After the launch, I spoke with the park's Deputy Director of Education, Robin Dunbar, to learn more about what's happening in Paradise Creek Park this summer and beyond. Robin Dunbar is the Deputy Director of Education here at Paradise Creek. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
So, I understand we had a big ribbon cutting today. Tell us a little bit about what went on here.
Absolutely. I'm so excited to have everybody here. So we did a ribbon cutting of our new Dominion Wetland Learning Lab. It's for science education for the students to come, and then to also use our new wetland as a teaching marsh.
Oh, great.
So we're super excited to invite all the kids starting next fall to come and have field trips. And we've already been having field trips without it. So we've had over 6,000.
Oh, wow.
So we have been really excited to have this new wetland lab. It was designed by the University of Virginia and has a roof for us and a beautiful sketched map of the Elizabeth River on the floor and seating. Then we also cut a ribbon for our new kayak launch.
Great, so you can go kayaking here as well.
Yes, we launched our first kayak, and what's so fantastic is we have clear bottom kayaks. So we are excited to have the public come now, and there's all sorts of safety signage now, so it's super safe, and we're excited to have everybody on board.
So what types of programs do you have going on here during the summer?
This summer, of course, it's open to the public, dawn to dusk. But coming is a natural playground. We'll have a river academy. We'll have experts coming in. We have an art installation. For the first time, Rob Mulholland, a Scottish artist, is coming the end of September, and for Riverfest in October 9th. We're going to unveil that, and we're going to start a river walk. It's from here at our bridge in Paradise Creek Nature Park, and we're going to take everybody on a beautiful walk all the way on top of the Jordan Bridge.
Oh, wow.
So we're inviting everybody to come out and be a part of that. Now it's called, the walk is One Flock. So the art installation is about great blue herons. He's going to sculpt about 150 of these great blue herons. And amongst them is going to be a family with their hands held out and their arms held out like great blue herons. And we're trying to get the community to appreciate the river and come to an understanding that we're all part of it, and we all need to do our part to help restore our home river.
That's early fall that's happening.
Yes, that's October 9th, Columbus Day, I believe. It's a Sunday, and we want everybody to come on out.
Now, as far as like the kayaks, are these available throughout the day, throughout the week, or just certain hours?
You can bring your own kayak and canoe, of course. And we are just building our river academy that will have our kayak storage. So a few more months to get those here. We do have a trailer, but we're going to have programs that you can locate us on our website, and we'll be inviting the public to come out for programs to use those.
In the meantime, you can come out at any time during daylight hours?
Yep, if you've got your own kayak canoe, come on out in the daylight, and we will hopefully be here to take your picture and celebrate with you.
Fantastic. Well, thanks so much for telling us about it. And be sure to check out Paradise Creek. The Portsmouth Department of Parks, Recreation, and Leisure Services operates facilities and sponsors events throughout the year. But things really get hopping in the summer. Recently, I spoke with the department's new director, Mark Furlow. Mark, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Now, I understand that you have a lot of activities coming up this summer, Parks and Recreation.
Yeah, the summer is our busy time in Parks and Recreation. We've got our summer camps that are going to be starting shortly. We're doing movies in the parks, and we have some festivals coming up as well.
Okay, now the big festival this year, I guess, is the Seawall Music Fest.
Right. The Seawall Music Festival is June 10th and 11th, and that's right over here at the Portside, yes.
Right. So there's lots of bands and food.
Yeah,
and
we have lots of bands. We'll have food trucks out there, and it'll be a great time.
Any other things coming up for the park?
We also have Sunset Thursdays, which is, we'll also have music out there at the Portside stage out there too. That'll be Thursday evenings, and that will also be starting in June and running through, actually those will go through September.
Now I understand you're new to this position. You just joined us in January.
Yep, yeah, I just started in January.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, prior to coming to Portsmouth, I worked for Isle of Wight County, and I was the director of Parks and Recreation there for about 7 years. And then before that, I worked in the city of Suffolk, and I worked for the YMCA of Southampton Roads for a little while too. Before that, I graduated from Old Dominion University, and I've pretty much been working in the Parks and Recreation field all my life. I started when I was 16 years old as a lifeguard at the municipal pool in the town that I grew up in.
Welcome, and we'll look
Thank
forward to talking to you again about future events.
Great.
And be sure to check out all the events taking place in June for Parks and Recreations. The Seawall Music Festival kicks off at Portside on Friday evening, June 10, from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. and will feature the music of Coolin' Out. The festival continues the next day, Saturday, June 11, from 3 to 9 p.m. Featured bands and artists that day will include Barbara Martin, Soul Intent, Michael Clark, the Billy Joe Trio, Phase 2, and Lakeside. At 9:15 that evening, the Seawall Music Festival ends with the East Coast's largest fireworks display. The Seawall Music Festival has been an annual happening since 1977. It's a great event for the entire family, and it's absolutely free, so be sure not to miss it. For more information, call 757-393-5111. And for more musical concerts, don't miss Sunset Thursdays. The music begins at Portside every single Thursday evening at 6:30 p.m. from now into September. For more information on any of the summer programs, camps, and events sponsored by the Portsmouth Department of Parks, Recreation, and Leisure Services, log on to www.portsvaprls.com or call 757-393-8481. Portside will be alive with the sounds and the taste of the Caribbean with the Caribbean Food and Music Festival on Saturday, June 4th from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. and on Sunday, June 5th from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. This is a not-for-profit music festival organized and run by local expatriates of the Caribbean. Here are Monique Robinson and Carlita Wiggins to tell us more about it. Monique, Carlita, thanks for joining us today. Now, I understand that you two have been involved with sponsoring Caribbean festivals throughout the Hampton Roads for the last few years, and you've had them in other locations. Where have you had them before?
We've had it in Hampton, Chesapeake, and now we're in Portsmouth this year.
So what made you decide to bring it to Portsmouth?
It's a good location on the water, and we haven't been in Portsmouth.
What is the festival about? What is it? What will we find there? What are things to see and do?
Culture, music, food, plenty of food.
Pretty
Caribbean food, yes, definitely. Dancing, a lot of culture, a lot of Caribbean culture.
Are you two from Caribbean descent?
I'm from Jamaica.
Oh, great.
And I'm from West Philly.
Do you have any particular artists or anything coming in?
Indeed. We have Poompa out of St. Croix, for one.
Wow.
And,
We have Nature's Child, and there's Tom Barrow Salsa Band. And we have Mosaic Steel Drum Orchestra. And we have the Panamanian Folklore Group and the Traditional Caribbean Indians. They're also going to be there. And we have some local DJs also.
For those who have no idea, like never tried like Caribbean food, can you tell us a little bit about it? What makes it different from other cuisines?
It's a mix of different types of culture.
spices.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like,
That's good.
it's a mix of like African, East Indian, Chinese, and European style cooking into kind of a one.
Great. So now where's the festival going to be, and what are the dates for it?
It's at Portside, June 4th through 5th. So it's 2 days.
2 days.
Yeah, so you come out both days and get some dinner.
Sounds great. Does it go into the evening, or is it?
3 p.m. to 10 p.m. on
Oh, great.
Saturday,
Okay.
Yes.
and 3 to 8 on Sunday.
Okay, so really a great weekend. I mean,
Yes,
stuff for the whole family.
Yes, indeed, it's child friendly. There'll be plenty of vendors, merch vendors, and of course the food vendors. So yes,
Well,
plenty enough to do. Music, merchants. Enjoy yourself.
Great,
Yes.
great.
And
Oh,
learn some culture.
sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for dropping by and telling us all about it.
Thank you for having us.
Be sure to check it out. We'll look at more upcoming events when we return to Portsmouth Now right after these messages.
At our house, we really like to maximize family time. That's why our favorite place for family fun is Old Town Portsmouth. We love taking the ferry over, then strolling through unique shops filled with one-of-a-kind treasures. Next, it's on to a great lunch at an outdoor cafe and an afternoon of fun with friends at the Children's Museum of Virginia and the Virginia Sports Hall of Fame and Museum. Food, fun, and adventure? No wonder Old Town Portsmouth is our go-to destination for family fun.
A whole new world of imagination opens before their eyes. The Children's Museum of Virginia, Old Town Portsmouth.
Welcome back to our June 2016 episode of Portsmouth Now. The annual race to Cock Island has been one of Hampton Roads' premier boating events for decades. Recently, Jim Bacchus dropped in to tell us more about this year's race.
Now, tell us a little bit about what's going to be happening this year with the Cock Island race.
Well, this year's the 29th annual Cock Island race, and it's June 17th and 18th at the North Harbor. We generally have right around 100 boats in recent years. In past years, we've had as many as almost 200. We have a big time. The race itself is Saturday morning, and it starts at mile marker 0 on the seawall. And it's a sight to behold with approximately 100 boats milling around for position with staggered starts, and it's very exciting, very much fun to watch. Friday night we have a welcome party for the people that are participating in the race, many of which are docked in North Harbor. So what's normally a scenic spot anyway is an extremely scenic spot. Beverages available. Adult beverages for sale. We have seafood available on site from Dock of the Bay Seafood Restaurant. We have the DeLoreans playing Friday night.
Is this open to the public?
This is open.
Is there a cover charge or anything?
There's no cover charge, and it's open to the public. Again, the food and beverages is for purchase, but it's available to anyone. There's, I'm sure, in excess of 1,000 people on site dancing and enjoying the food and beverage, and it's a great time for everyone. On Saturday night, following the race, we would have similar hospitality, food and beverages, open to the public. The band on Saturday night is Soul Intent. And both of these bands have their own following, and if there wasn't anything else going on, it would be a great opportunity just to come and hear good music. But we have food and beverages open to the public both nights. We'll have the award ceremony in when the band takes a break on Saturday, and the music will continue until 11 o'clock on Saturday night.
Now, those who are participating in the race itself, sailing, did they apply for this earlier in the year?
Just about a week ago, we mailed out the notice of race to the sailing community, especially people that have participated in the past. And they have until 1 week before the race to get signed up. Those participating in the race have a few drink tickets since they're already supporting the race financially. But again, everything is open to the public, and the more the merrier.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun, a really fun weekend. How, you said this has been going on for a number of decades. How did this start? Can you tell us a little bit about the history of the race?
Well, again, this is the 29th annual, and 29 years ago, a lot of the festivals supported by the city were put on by a now defunct organization, Port Events. Mm-hmm. So Port Events started this 29 years ago, and they ceased to exist roughly 10 years ago, I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. And that resulted in a sort of a joint venture or a co-sponsoring of the event between the City of Portsmouth and the Portsmouth Boat Club. So the Portsmouth Boat Club, with the support of the city as far as the venue and in many other regards, puts on the race and puts on the parties, again, with a great deal of support from the City of Portsmouth.
What are those dates again?
June 17th and 18th.
All right.
The deadline for entering the race is June 10th, but the deadline to come down and have a good time with us and enjoy it is the night of the event. Come whenever you like.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Thanks for telling us about it.
Thank you.
The Eastern Amateur Golf Tournament, held at Elizabeth Manor Golf Course, has drawn players from all over the world to Portsmouth every summer for years. This year's tournament is scheduled from July 7th through July 10th. Recently, I spoke with Carl Quinn about the history of the tournament and what's in store for this year. Well, Carl, thanks for joining us today. Now, you're here to tell us about the Eastern Amateur Championship.
Rob, we appreciate the opportunity to be here. We have the 60th edition of the Eastern Amateur Championship coming up this year. It's going to be July 7th through 10th at Elizabeth Manor Golf and Country Club. We will be bringing in 168 players from all over the world. I have 5 commitments from Australia, a South African, a couple Argentines, and a couple Brits. You know, I have a little canned speech that I rattle on, but say, what do Tom Kite, Steve Jones, and Hale Irwin have in common, and Jim Furyk? And the answer is that they all played in the Eastern Amateur, didn't win it, but they all later went on to win the U.S. Open.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Our winners have been a great group of guys. Aaron Oberholzer, who's on the Golf Channel, is an announcer now. Steve Melnick was a broadcast personality for a while. Ben Crenshaw, whose name I think everybody recognizes, Ben Crenshaw. Steve Liebler, who's a local guy.
I went to high school with him.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we were in a room together.
Okay, that's great. Well, he won the tournament in 3 different decades. He won just a couple years ago. So he's great. We've had just a whole host of players come through. Gary Player's son played here. It's really funny. I go through the names every year and try to pick out the names of famous names, not these players themselves, but their fathers. And we've had dozens of tour pros, sons play in the tournament. Just an amazing the number of people that show up and play golf here. And if you come out to Elizabeth Manor, you can say you may see the next Jason Dye. He didn't get here, but a number of Australians. We almost always get a number of players from Australia. I have a couple connections in Australia, work with them, and we usually have a few players from there. And they're very popular. All the Aussies are outgoing guys, just like Jason. You've seen him on TV recently. He's a great guy, and most of them are just wonderful people.
Well, who sponsors the event?
We've had a number of different sponsors over the year. Town Bank Investments stepped up this year, and they're our primary sponsor.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about the history of this? I mean, besides the players?
Well, the tournament started in 1956. Tom Strange, who was Curtis Strange's father, and then Tom Strange is also Curtis Strange's son. All 3 generations played in the tournament. Tom Strange and Curtis Strange won the tournament. Tom, I don't know whether he's the second or third or whatever, but he's Curtis's son, has played in the tournament. Unfortunately, he didn't win. The tournament was formed has been played at Elizabeth Manor in 58 of the 60 years. 1 year back in the 70s, they had problems with the greens at Elizabeth Manor, and the tournament was moved to Sleepy Hole Golf Course. And then in 1999, our greens were being redone, and we played at Portsmouth's Bidewee Golf Course.
Right.
But every other year, it's been at Elizabeth Manor. And like I say, we have just literally thousands of alumni, I guess, the players have played there. They're golf pros. when I travel any place and go to play golf, and I do go to play golf.
I assume that you do.
I usually wear something from the Elizabeth Manor, which and invariably somebody will say, "Oh yeah, I played in that," or "My brother played in that," or something. You know, there are golf pros all over the country, all over the world, I guess, that have played in the Elizabeth Manor here and the Eastern Amateur Elizabeth Manor here in Portsmouth.
So what are those dates again?
July 7th through 10th.
Okay.
There's actually an opening ceremony on the 6th.
Okay.
The mayor's going to be out there. Actually, I think Mayor Wright, Mayor Johnson from Suffolk, and hopefully some other dignitaries. We're going to have just an opening ceremony. There'll be a closest to the pin contest, open to everybody, and a long drive contest for the players in the championship.
Well, that's great. All right.
We'd like to have everybody come out for that. It's your chance to meet and greet some of the upcoming some of the outstanding players in the world of golf.
That's great. Well, thanks for coming here and telling us all about it. Be sure to check it out. Every Saturday from now until Christmas, you can find some of the freshest produce, meat, seafood, and baked goods available anywhere in Virginia at the Old Town Farmers Market. Here's someone to tell us about it. I'm joined by Terry Danaher, who is the manager/empress of the Old Town Farmers Market. Thanks for joining us, Terry.
You're welcome. It's good to be back.
So June's here, and what's happening at the Farmers Market?
Well, we've been open for a month. We started May 7th with our first market of the spring season. We had some winter markets that were very small, but very popular. We always had customers even when it was pouring rain. But June is a really good month for the market. We've been pigging out on strawberries and asparagus. That's going to be kind of closing out. And now we're looking at peaches, corn, peas. We have the spring peas. There's all kinds of new vegetables out there that our farmers like to experiment, so we never know exactly what's on its way, but we enjoy it, and it's just a wonderful market. We have all kinds of things.
So I understand that you have a new vendor.
Yes, we're very, very happy. We have a fresh seafood fish vendor, and they're called Two Fish. It's a young couple from Elizabeth City, and they sell phenomenal seafood. I'm growing gills because I have been eating so much.
I thought that was just your earrings. I'm sorry, I didn't know that.
And it's just we've had mahi and trout, soft shell crabs, hard shell crabs. They have crab meat. They have oysters, clams, and it's all sustainable. It's from the Virginia, Carolina coast, and we post when on the market day, we will post what fish is available so people can see what's available fresh. And then we have our regular frozen seafood vendor also still.
Now I understand besides the vendors and all that, you're having food demonstrations, cooking demonstrations?
Yeah,
what is that?
We have, frequently we have special guests and special events. We will have a new chef each month on the third Saturday of the month. And we're really looking forward to what's happening. Nick Hagan, who is our homegrown restaurant chef, started this with one of our farmers, the Brothers Farm people. And he actually showed me how to cook the soft shell crabs, how to prepare them, because they do take some preparation, that I bought from Two Fish. So it was just perfect because the restaurant's sort of around the corner from where we are anyway, and he actually came by my house to show me what to do so I could eat soft shell crabs, and it's the
That's
first
one of the
time.
advantages of living in Old Town.
Yes, it's wonderful. And the wonderful thing about our vendors and people like Nick and our farmers and our craftspeople is they will talk to you about what you're buying. And they can tell you the history of the things that they build or make or create, and they can tell you how they grow things. They can tell you how they would prepare it, and we have recipe swapping going on all the time. It's a social event and as well as an economic event. And we are looking forward to also having, being able to take SNAP for people who need some assistance. One of our farmers takes the SNAP program. And the other thing I wanted to mention, because a lot of people don't realize, we are on a couple of bus routes.
Okay.
So we have buses stop all the time. So for people who don't have wheels or who prefer not to drive, you can hop on a bus and come to the market, grab your stuff, get right back on the bus, and head out of town again. So It's very useful. We're about a block and a half from the ferry, so you can take the ferry over and bring a wagon or some kind of cart and go right back on the ferry and head back to Norfolk or wherever. And so we have, several ways of getting to us. Because a lot of people are concerned about parking or driving, especially with tunnel closures and things like that. So we've got a lot of options there, as well as a growing market.
Be sure to check it out. It's a great time, even if you buy no food. It's still just a great place to socialize, but you should. And I've never gone there and not bought something.
Yeah, we have excellent bakers too. So we cover the spectrum. We're good, and you've got to buy from us.
Well, yes, you do. All right. Well, thanks for joining us again and telling us about it.
Okay, great.
That's it for our show today. For more information on the events featured on our program, and for any of the dozens of special events taking place in Portsmouth during every month of the year, just log on to www.portsvaevents.com and then come to Portsmouth, where, if you give us a day, we'll give you a vacation. I'm Rob Lauer. Join me again next month for the July episode of Portsmouth Now.